here I am going live. I just finished a weekend with Structured Success with a bunch of business owners talking about how to build their business and how to develop their team members and how to visualize building their business. You know, building your business always starts with visualizing what it is you want to do and what you want to build to. And a lot of people, they hang their shingle or they start a business and they start working and then they see where their business takes them. And then at some point in time, when they realize after it could be 5 years, 10 years, 30 years that they want to sell it, then they see how much they can sell it for and how much they can get for it. Well, think about this. There's 4 different kinds of businesses you can build. You can build a cash flow business. So the whole purpose in building your business is to generate cash flow and then one day move from an owner-doer to an owner-investor to where your business is giving you cash flow and you don't have to work anymore. That's one kind of business. Another business is a tuck-in business. So you build it to a certain level and then you sell it to somebody who does something similar to what you're doing and they tuck it into their business and that pays a certain kind of valuation. The other is a bolt-on. You build it knowing that you're going to be a regional player for a bigger strategic buyer or private equity group that can buy you and then bolt it onto something they already have. Or you build it to be an enterprise company. So you're a platform company. All 4 of those businesses have different kind of value. So the question you have to ask yourself is, what kind of value do I want to get back for trading all my time and all my risk and all my effort of building my business? Do you want to build a platform company? Because that's going to require more risk. You have to have systems and technology and automation. You have to have people developed. You have to have infrastructure. You have to have capital to expand. You got to have a big organization, an agile organization, lots of infrastructure, lots of support, and you have to be excellent at what it is you're doing, and you have to be over 100 or 150 or $200 million. You can't be a platform company and be 10 million or 20 million. So when you think about that, there's a lot of risk associated, but a lot of reward. If you want to be a tuck-in, then you just have to get to a certain size, maybe 15 million, 10 million, 15 million, 20, 25 million. And you're not going to put all the money into the systems because you're tucking into somebody who already has a system. So you would know, I'm not going to invest in those areas. But then you can't all of a sudden pivot when you're 40 million and say, you know what, I want to be a platform company. You're going to be behind the 8 ball. So what kind of teams you have, the direction you're going, the value you want to create. And then if you're a cash flow company, you just want to make $2 or $3 million a year, there's nothing wrong with that. But then there's certain things that you have to have in place in order to give you the freedom and security and comfort to not be in the business every day and be able to live off the cash flow generated. So depending on the kind of business you want to ultimately own and the value you want created with that business, you have to start 10 years out or 20 years out and work backwards to what you're building. If you just start and build and then see what happens, I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to get what you get, which is what other people are willing to pay you. And, you know, there's no perfect answer to valuation, but generally speaking, if you have an idea where you want to go and how you want to get there and who you might want the buyer to be, if it's a strategic or private equity or, if it's just a cash flow business, you can determine lots of things and how you want to build it. You don't have to put the same risk in place. So anyhow, that's what we talked about all weekend. So if you have any questions about what I just talked about, you certainly send me the questions. You know, I was doing a live the other day, and I had the phone sitting further away from me, and my eyes aren't so good. I have 3 lenses in my glass, and I couldn't actually see the questions. So now I'm holding it closer to my face so I can see if somebody asks me any questions. So anyhow, if you're thinking of building a business, so if you haven't started a business yet and you're thinking of building a business, knowing what you want to build, why you want to build it, what problem it's solving, and how large you want it to grow to based on studying what some of the competitors are doing, that might be a good way. Like find somebody that you want to emulate. That's an example. The other thing is, if you're wanting to build a platform company, then you need to go look at businesses that are over $100 million, usually maybe 75 to $100 million. And, oh, somebody sent a request to be in your live video. Someone wants to be in my live video. Let me see who this is. I don't know. I tried. What about a physician in a hospital group? Oh, there
Hey,
you
how
go.
are you?
Hey, buddy, how are you, man?
Good, thank you. Sorry, I just got off the bike. I was kind of exercising in the back.
No problem.
I'm actually a physician down in southern New Jersey,
Perfect.
and I'm in a semi-private group. And the plan is, I'm trying to figure out what to do on the side. I just don't know what to do. I'm making X amount of dollars based on incentive on how much I bill, and I kind of reached the max. Maybe probably this year I'll reach a max.
Yeah, it's hard when you're in groups, isn't it? Because everyone wants to divvy stuff up, and you're paid on your production, so you're trading time for money, and reimbursements and things go down, and you feel like you're working twice as hard for the same amount of money, huh?
Correct. Well, the way we set up is kind of RVU value, so it doesn't matter if the patient has insurance or not. I still get paid a relative value. It's still based on production, but it doesn't matter if they're Medicaid versus private insurance. Money-wise, it's still not bad.
Yeah, but you're getting paid for how many people you see, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so I mean, you can only trade so much time. I mean, you got to be there. You got to be producing. You can't go.
It's all
You're
me.
not. Yeah, exactly. So I would look. So here's what I would do. I would look at. So you look at your peers in the group and identify. Depending on what kind of specialty you have and how what you're getting reimbursed for per procedure and everything. You got to decide. Okay, am I capping out what I can do in the group, or is there an alternative for me? Either a side hustle, because if you got to stay where you're at, you got to keep doing what you're doing, and you've already maxed out your time. And if you look at your peers that you respect that are in your particular field, that are in groups, small or large groups, I mean, you look and see what kind of money people are making, and then you ask yourself the question: do I want to do this for another 10 or 15 or 20 years? Right?
No, absolutely.
Because
So I absolutely agree with you. So Grant's been a great motivation, and so have you as been as well. Um, I've probably made more in my group than any other specialty care, even compared to some of the neurosurgeons out there as well, because I've been trying to hustle and grind. I mean, I'll get up 4 o'clock in the morning, start rounding at
yep.
4:30 in the morning to late night. Game plan for the next 5 to 10 years is stash away as much as I can and try something with real estate.
Well, so let me just so you don't want to be stashing it and then waiting to do something in real estate, because then you're losing the time value of money, right?
Correct.
So you want to be investing it while you're grinding for 10 years, so you get the multiplier of your money working for you. And this is exactly why Grant started Cardone Capital, because while he was working in his business, he was investing in real estate, and then he realized he was really good at real estate, and his real estate was actually making him higher returns for energy, right? Because while he's working, his real estate's appreciating and growing in value and paying him dividends. So, I mean, you taking the time to go study a bunch of deals. I flew around with Grant, and I'm just getting ready to break ground on another 350,000 square feet of storage, and that'll put me over 1 million square feet of storage that I've accumulated in the last probably 20 years. It's not easy, man. It takes a ton of time to go find where you're going to do things, put the deals together, get the lending set up, make sure all the integration work's done, hire management companies. So if your deal is maxing out every minute of time, then Cardone Capital, for example, is, because you need a partner where you can trust them. They're aligned because they have their own money in it. And then you can sit back and say, I want to make 12 to 15% to 18% of my money while I'm busting my ass, so that some delta in time, your money's working for you, right?
Absolutely. So don't try to
But
do it myself in between.
what are you going to do, though, in the group? Are you just going to grind out surgery?
Absolutely. So it's non-surgical. It's everything from seizures to strokes. It's just seeing volume of patients. I mean, as much as I can. And I'm trying to work like extra weekends so I can do that.
And you think you got 10 years in you to do that?
more, but I mean, I'm trying to hit it hard for 10 years so I can
Okay, I got you.
have enough money kind of in the beginning instead of later on.
Have you have you put any money into Cardone Capital yet?
None yet.
Well, I'm putting money in Cardone Capital. I put quite a bit in. I would tell you the reason I do it is it's a hedge. Grant's picking properties that are what I call flight to quality properties. So if there's a downward or compression in the marketplace, it's the kind of properties that people that live in nice homes would want to move into because it's got all the amenities and they've got lots of grounds and they've got trees and they're places people would be proud to call home. So, outside of that, what is your strategy for investing in real estate?
I was trying to pick up small condos, rent them out for 10 years, or do a mortgage for 10 years. By then, they'll be at least paid off. It's better than earning whatever I am in the bank. And even if I did like a high interest rate bank account, that's only 2%, which is nothing. I could probably make more money doing other things. That was kind of the real estate plan. Commercial, I try to stay away from just because I'm just iffy with that.
Yeah. So, have you bought any condos?
I'm looking in the market right now.
Dude, I'm going to be completely frank with you, man. If you're trading your time for money for reimbursement with patients, and you want to work weekends and extended hours in doing that, you getting calls because you got a leaky faucet or you got a pissed off renter is not going to be consistent with your 10-year plan. It will grind you out the more of those that you own. You don't get any advantage of law of large numbers. And I think that's the more volume you have in units, the more protection you have, and the more value that's created because you raise your rent at one condo, or you just can't get leverage. So you
Okay.
either got to go buy so many of them and then hope they all appreciate, and you don't lose a renter because for every 4 or 5 you own, if you lose a renter and it takes time to put them in there, you're making up for lost income. I just think going and buying, like for me, my first deal was the storage units, and it was a big project because I don't want to be screwing around. I want to have a management team. I got to go focus on where I know how to make my money.
Okay.
So if you've got excess capital, I would look at Cardone Capital. I think he's going to close this last fund out that I just put 4 or 5 beautiful properties in there. But I know it's intriguing to think that you could go buy, unless you're buying stuff like on the water that you think is just going to appreciate. That's for some reason you're able to get it way under value. But my experience with condos are that I have a couple now that I had from the past, and they're a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
I
that's what I
just
feel. I feel like I'm just gonna get phone calls, and like you're right, it's gonna be dealing with day in and day out things that are just more tedious than anything else.
Yeah, and you're trying to go and rock out you're trying to go and rock out your medical business. Like, you don't need to be screwing around with condos.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna scale too small if I do that, and I do agree with him. He's saying that if you don't do more than 1632, we're just putting money in a fund. I'm just gonna be wasting time.
Well, with Grant,
Yeah.
well, he's making, I think the one I'm in, I'm getting 5 or 6% cash on cash return, and the internal rate of return I'm estimating to be somewhere, around 15 to 18% based on what my guesstimation is. And I'm not on that Cardone Capital side, but I mean, that's pretty good. Those are great returns considering I'm not doing any of the work.
No, the sawgrass or sawmill was awesome. I was looking at that. I was actually down in Florida maybe about a month ago. It's like an awesome location. That mall
Yeah.
down there is just a great,
And
great
he's smart
expensive.
about what he's buying. Like I said, he wants flight to quality properties. He wants to know if there's a downturn, everyone's going to want to live there because they have to leave their homes, right? They don't want to go someplace that's crappy. They want to go someplace that feels like a home, and he's buying stuff that definitely fits that matrix.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think he's doing a video tomorrow night. I was going to take a look at.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Well, I would strongly recommend it. And then where in Jersey are you?
I'm actually in Ocean City, New Jersey.
Oh, perfect. So my brother lives in Mount Laurel. I spent quite a bit of time in Cape May.
So Cape May is like 20 minutes down south, 15 minutes down south.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Cool.
listen, let me know how it's going. Think about it when you do the webinar or whatever. Hit me back. And if there's any questions I can answer as an investor in the fund, I'd be happy to do it.
Awesome. Thanks for picking
All
up
right,
the call,
brother.
man. I
You bet.
appreciate it.
Okay.
Take
See you.
care. Bye.
Bye. All right. So, yeah, the Naples property is amazing. I walked it, and boy, it's got water fountains everywhere. It's got workout facilities. It's got a couple swimming pools. It's got like a tennis court. It's a gorgeous property. All right, so here's the deal. Anybody else want to jump on and ask me any questions? Otherwise, I'm taking my daughter to a concert tonight, and I want you to think about leverage in your business. How do you create leverage in your business? And here's the thing, just like the conversation we just had, if your business is about cash flow and that's your plan, then have your B plan. Where are you going to take the cash flow you're making and put it so while you're busting your ass, your money's working for you? This is exactly why Cardone Capital exists. But if you don't do that, because here's the thing, like I just talked to a business owner. He said, I've been working 10 years saving 200, look at my hair and look how long it's getting. My barber couldn't see me in Arizona, so I let it grow a little long. I've been working 10 years saving 150, 200 grand a year so I could save up 2 million. He's got 2 million in cash that's sitting in the bank. It's not earning any money. I mean, very little, and there's no leverage on it. That 2 million could be 3.5 million today, and paying him, 4 or 5% if it was invested in Cardone Capital. So if you're going to build a cash flow business, have a clear strategy to put your money to work. Even just start, even if it's $5,000 or $10,000 or $100,000 or $500,000 a year. Get your money working for you while you're busting your ass in the cash flow business. Don't just wait until you've accumulated money and then think to yourself, I'm going to go and then invest in something. So invest while you bust your ass. That's the advantage of a cash flow business, and generate as much cash flow as you can and then invest it, which is exactly what we just talked about. And it's exactly why Grant started Cardone Capital. Let's see. Any other questions or comments here? I think I saw Uncle G on the line. Could be wrong, though. Let's see. All right. Well, so here's the deal. We're going to be doing some of these live sessions. You think about your questions, and you think about what kind of business you want to generate or what kind of business you want to create. If it's a cash flow business, if it's a tuck-in business, if it's a bolt-on business, or if it's an enterprise business. And then you hit me up with questions on what that looks like as you're building them. And then we will be discussing that and discuss the fastest, most successful way to succeed. I keep seeing Uncle G here. He keeps making comments on this live, but I don't see, he's not popping on. Maybe he's scared. Maybe he's in the middle of doing a deal for everybody. So he's asking me what the difference is between those 4 different types of businesses. So I covered those at the beginning of the live stream, but I'll hit them up again. So a cash flow business is a lifestyle business where you're maxing out your time, energy, and effort for money, but you're not intentionally building it to try to get a huge sale price. And my recommendation there is that you're aware and strategic about investing your cash each year versus some of these business owners that were here this weekend, saving their money for 5 or 10 or 15 years to accumulate it, then go look for an investment when they're tired of working. So they don't get any of the value of their money working for them. The bolt-on business is building something that somebody larger, let's see, someone wants to join me here. Let's see, I'm going to add, see who's jumping on here. I think, waiting for Grant. I think Uncle G's jumping on here. There he is.
Look, I'm already in bed, man.
What's happening?
Dude, I'm in bed. There's so many great things that are about to happen.
You're frozen.
Oh, am I?
There, you're moving now.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I just got in bed. It's 9:03.
Oh my God.
3 minutes past my bedtime.
You're looking good though. Looks like I need to hit your barber up when I'm in Miami.
Hey, I really appreciate you going over these 4 types of things. I'm learning something watching you.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. I worked with all these business owners this weekend, and some of them, I don't know if you saw, but a handful of the practice owners I'm working with have been investing in Cardone Capital. They just put one wife, husband, and daughter put in $275,000 last week, and they're really super excited about it.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely take care of them. You know, that's for sure.
Yeah, I know you do that.
I
I just
respect
talked.
money.
I don't know if you saw. I just talked to a doctor who's busting his ass trading time for money, thinking about real estate investing, and we were talking about the fact that he didn't have the time to go look at condos. He needs to be putting it where he has somebody he can trust, right? So let's talk about a couple of your deals.
Talk about them.
Yeah, I mean you're closing the fund, aren't you?
Yeah, well, what happened? Actually, tomorrow night I'm doing a webinar on the deal that we added Friday.
Perfect.
I think you saw the deal I added Thursday. You and I and Natalie drove that Laguna deal.
Yep.
And then Friday I closed another deal, 501 units, 140 million. Don't tell anybody. But I'm going to go over the numbers tomorrow night. The website's cardonecapital.com/webinar. So anybody that wants to go register, it's free. You can see how we're hitting our returns. It's a 6 to 8%. It's beautiful property. I think if we can raise the rents $200 there over the next 3 years, we'll make 30 million there.
Wow.
For our investors. So
law of large numbers, man, getting them working for you.
Well, that's what people don't understand. Like you can make 100% on your money on $1. It's just still $1.
Yeah.
Or you can earn, you can, and then you can earn. I'd rather earn 10% on something I don't have to do.
Yeah. I agree.
I think a lot of people, a lot of business owners that you're talking to and working with every day, they're working hard in their business, and they invest money in their business and they get a good return on that, maybe 20 or 30%. But when you get your money, not your time, as you're telling people, hey, invest your money.
Yep. I mean,
So anyway, Brandon, I look forward to doing some big stuff with you. I mean, I don't know if everybody knows what we're doing, but we created Cardone Ventures. For those of you out there that maybe you're stuck at $2 million and you can't get to 5, and you could go to 20, but you're like, I can't even get from 2 to 3. How am I going to get to 5, 10, and 15 and 20? Brandon and I we created Cardone Ventures. We want to partner with the right opportunities. It's a way for us to grow, get to meet some great people, have a lot of fun, and make some money.
Grant Forbes just came out and talked about the fact that the private equity and hedge fund guys are sitting on right now $2 trillion because they can't invest it because the deals are getting too expensive.
Yeah.
Then over the next 15 years, there's 64 trillion coming into the marketplace. If you owned a business right now, wouldn't you say the gold rush is coming? Let's get intentional about how we're going to build value.
Look at all the mergers going on right now. Look at the IPOs that are happening. Okay. These big companies, the only way a multi-billion-dollar company can grow is to make acquisitions. You can't grow. Netflix will look to buy Hulu.
Yep.
Because it can only do so much on its own. So the acquisition, and this is what so many of us don't understand when we're playing the little game. And when we're trying to pay the bills and we're just trying to expand, it's like these big guys have a completely different set of problems than we have. And as everybody knows, money's made when you solve problems. So yeah. Brandon and I are going to put together a bunch of companies, and then we're going to go sell the package. Can I tell people that?
Yeah, go for it, man. That's the deal. You tell them. Yeah.
We're gonna put together a bunch of different variety of companies, and that group of companies will be more valuable as a package than they will. I always say this, man. That's a way to scale. And you'll actually, one business owner will get the lift of the package that you could never ever get by yourself.
It's funny you're saying that, Grant. I just was going through and looking at valuations. Businesses under 10 million are getting 2 to 4 times EBITDA. Businesses that are around 20 are getting 3.5 to 5. Businesses are around 30 are getting 4.5 to 6. Businesses around 50 million are getting 5 to 7. When you have to get up to $100 million to be getting 8 to 12, but $1 billion companies are getting 12 to 18, and public companies are getting 25 to 30.
Yeah.
So if you're a little guy doing 10 million, 5 million to 10 million, you're better off being part of a group that's doing 100 million or a billion than you are being by yourself.
We should make Monday night merger mania.
I love it.
You know, and let's let the little guys, all the little guys here, like me and Brandon, we're little guys. We're just thinking bigger now. And let's, as a group, a bunch of everyday little guys and gals, think about how we can go tap into the big boys.
You know, that 64 trillion's looking for problem solvers.
Dude, it is. Big thinkers, too.
And you know, doing $1 billion of real estate is not going to fetch nearly the value of when you have 10 billion of real estate.
No. And these big bank guys, they want the fees on those mergers. Like, this is how they make a living, right? And so they're looking for the paper transaction, the work, the underwriting, the due diligence that they have to do, just like I do on one apartment deal. If you're underwriting 4 units, me underwriting 4,000 is almost the same amount of work.
That's right. And if there's 2 trillion sitting on the sidelines, they can't bill their 2% management fee against that. They have to deploy it into something. So they need size.
Dude, you know what? This is the comeback of the Moby Dick.
This is the
current day gold rush. I never read that book, but it's got something to do with this big whale or something.
We want to solve their problems, man.
Yeah.
The bigger we are.
Hey, Rico, Ali, Muhammad, Richin, you guys want to get rich? Because look, we're going to do this Monday night merger mania. This is for people that want to get rich. If you don't want to monetize and you don't want to get rich, do not follow Brandon Dawson.
Hey, we're going to be talking about this at the boot camp here in 2 weekends.
Yeah.
And we're going to be talking about how to create value. And then the next 10X 360 program is going to be taking these 4 different kind of business platforms you can make, showing you what those values are, and then showing you how to maximize the values so you're not wasting your time, which is what a lot of people do. They just show up, do their thing until they decide to sell, and then they realize how much they left off the table.
GrantCardoneBootcamp.com, GrantCardoneBootcamp.com, GrantCardoneBootcamp.com. I think you can get a seat there for under $2,000 right now. I don't know.
Oh, that's a deal, man. Some people are paying a lot more than that.
And by the way, that's where I'll be announcing whether I'm running for president or not. Okay, so
that's awesome.
Angel said nobody cares. Mr. Fazeborn says he's starting to think bigger. Adrian says, "Can you lend me money, dude? I'll do more than lend you money, bro. How about I lend you my name? What would you guys rather have? I lend my name to your business, or I lend you some Ben Franklins? What would you rather have, Brandon?
I'd rather I already made the choice. I'd rather be working with you and having the name, because the name means 10X, baby. It means we're going to go conquer something.
So guys and gals, come join us. 3 days boot camp. It's the only place in the world where you can spend 3 days with me. Brandon will be there. Yep. My team will be there. GrantCardoneBootcamp.com. I think there's maybe 15 spots left. GrantCardoneBootcamp.com, GrantCardoneBootcamp.com. And I think they even have an offer where we take care of your room. So GrantCardoneBootcamp.com. Let's go. Let's get rich.
Let's do it, man. And then for those that have businesses that want to carry this conversation further and talk direct, CardoneVentures.com, CardoneVentures.com, CardoneVentures.com. Hit me up, and I will get on the phone, and we'll be talking about how to structure your business for maximum value.
Yeah, free consultation on me. I'll pay for it, Brandon.
He'll pay for it. That's the thing, and his name's on it. You get 2 for 1.
Yeah. All right, bro. Well,
thanks for joining. Okay, guys.
Great job. Be great. You guys make sure you follow Brandon. If you're following me, follow Brandon Dawson.
Thanks, Uncle G. We'll see you tomorrow. Talk to you tomorrow. All right. That was crazy. It was awesome, wasn't it? So here's the deal. If you want to talk to me about business stuff, direct message me or go to CardoneVentures.com, and we will
strike up a conversation. So at this point, I have to run because I have a concert to take my daughter to. So thanks for listening and watching, and we'll hit you up on the next live stream. Take care.